Hello, sweetie. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this movie. Are you ready? Let's go. Whew. Today in my cup. Why do I want to keep calling it a cup? Today in my glass is orange juice because it's in the morning. Can't drink yet. So let's talk about it. Matrix Resurrections. Let me put my glasses on. No, I can't see. Okay, so let's just go ahead and start it off. First of all, tell me how you liked it in the comments. If anything I say, because as usual, I'm going to do my top 10. What did I think of it? Okay, so we're going to talk about it. Number one. It started off like the original, so I was a little confused for a minute because I was like, wait a minute. This seems familiar. I know it's been a while, but it ain't been that long. But then the voice was different. So, you got all these little matrix numbers. Oh, let me clear some things up before I go even further. My reviews is just a ordinary person who went to the movies, and me and you here to talk about it. I'm not a critic. I don't work for no newspaper. I'm not up here trying to tell you to go see it or not go see it. Spoilers. Please only look at this once you saw the movie. And we just gonna talk about it, and then I'll tell you my overall opinion. I'm not doing no video clips. I'm not doing none of that. It's me and you coming from the movies. We riding in the car and we talking about it. That's what this is all about. So, like I said, it started off like the old Matrix. But the voices were different. First of all, there was no black agents in the Matrix. Come on now. If you saw one, let me know. So I knew something was up as soon as I saw the black agent. Wait, there were no black agents. And then if you've seen the previews, you know that he's really Morpheus. So it kind of like, that's why sometimes, what you think? Sometimes previews mess the things up a little bit. I don't need to see a long drawn out preview. I want a snippet, and I don't want to see it 50 times in 50 different ways. I just want a snippet to see if I want to go see it. Some of those trailers be the whole entire good part of the movie. But anyway, the narration, the talking, so I didn't recognize the voice, and that's when we were introduced to Bugs and Sequel. I thought he was saying sequence. Seeker. No, I thought he was saying seeker. So it's sequel? I don't know, child. Anyway. And then what I noticed about sorry about the light. I have a skylight above me, so the light goes in and out. If you heard my birds in the background, it's nothing I can do about it. And I have to write stuff down. I am an old lady. I don't remember this stuff. That's why you see me looking down. I have to do the highlights as soon as I see the movie. Okay, and then we saw that the scene changed because first it was Trinity in it fighting the policeman, and she beat them up, no problem. doing her high kicks or whatever. The first time I saw The Matrix in that slow motion thing, I think I went to the movies and saw The Matrix 3 times. I did. I was one of those. Let me know if you was one of those as well. Okay, so anyway, we see beyond that because she follows Trinity in this change because Trinity did not get caught by the agents on the roof. Remember, she went through that window and was like, get up, girl, get up. You know, when you terrified, you so scared you can't move. She had to tell herself, get up and run. Okay. But anyway. So I'm like, what? So Bugs is up there and she just boldly sitting up there like, I'll fight an agent. I ain't got no problem fighting the agent. So that's how it opened. That was my number 1. Number 2, let's talk about the new characters. Okay, so in the old ones, but just my few top ones I want to talk about. First, we already talked about Bugs and the Analyst. So you know that's Neil Patrick Harris. He's the Analyst. How cute, how fun. Okay, and then Morpheus and Yahya. Anyway. And Jonathan Groff or Groof or something. He played Mr. Smith. Y'all know I like a bad guy. I got a problem. I like the villains for some reason. Not all villains, but some of them. So I liked him as the villain, Mrs. Smith. Okay. Then we have Sati. Oh, she was the little girl in the train station. So I think her name is Prayaka. And then is his name Merovingian? The Merovingian? Y'all know who I'm talking about. The French guy. He looked a mess. I love the way they made him look a mess because before he became what did they call those people? They were some dude with computer. I call them outcasts, honey. I don't know. They were rejects or on the run. I don't know. They were in there and he looked a mess. From the Frenchman that we saw starting in the Matrix 2, you don't look like the same Frenchman, honey. You look a mess. Okay, so he was there. And did y'all see your girl at the round table? She only had that one part when they was talking at the round table and she was hyping them up or whatever. The little girl from the Addams family. What? What's her name? What is her name from the Addams family? I forgot. But anyway, she said something very interesting. Did y'all catch it? She said she was talking about because you know Neil's supposed to be a gamer, a game creator, and he was supposed to have been the one to create the Matrix 1, 2, and 3. So they messed with his mind like that. But we'll talk about Neo down the line. But she said, let's go ahead and do what we need about Matrix 4 and maybe others. So do y'all think it's gonna be another Matrix? I don't think Neo can make it through another Matrix. I mean, he getting up there in age and he's still doing your all the other action movies he doing and the Matrix. I think maybe they're gonna bring the Matrix in but have the younger cast be the ones, and then maybe he be the leader or something where he's not doing so much action because, well, anyway, I'll talk about that down the road because then I'll start making all this stuff together. Okay, but anyway, I thought that was interesting. What her name is something Ricci. Her last name Ricci? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, it was interesting what she said. I wonder if y'all caught that. Number 3, let's talk about Morpheus. Okay, before we get to Neo and Trinity, let's talk about Morpheus. Okay, some of the things I liked. Okay, I liked the way they showed some of the old character of Morpheus with Lawrence in it, and introducing him as the created version of Neo's mind. but made him younger. Anyway, I like the way they did that, and they try to make him stylish, but still, you know, it's younger, it's hipper. But I like the old Morpheus way of dressing. Anyway, so he's a sentient, which is those looking like they look like little to me they remind me of little gray balls that when you used to do the game where you was creating little etch-a-sketches. That's why they said that Neo, even though he was trapped in that world, part of him was crying out for someone to help him. But in my opinion, it wasn't to help him. It was crying out to help to more. It was more about Trinity than him. So anyway, his fighting the Morpheus guy, I guess he was doing some sweet shooting things, but then again, we saw that in the preview. So his character was okay. You know, I don't want to compare him to Morpheus. This is a different movie, you know, and this is a different character. And I told y'all I don't like comparing different actors who's playing different characters. I'm not gonna do that. He was a sentient. And he was not Morpheus. He was the, what I like to say, the essence of Morpheus, but he was not Morpheus. Okay, so they weren't replacing him. He died, and it was 60 years later. So he died, and this is a creation of Neo's mind of who Morpheus was. So he's the essence of Morpheus. Okay, so now let's talk about Neo. Oh Lord. Neo was, I had to make myself remember, because I did not like this Neo. He felt so weak, and the only time he showed any type of strength or any of his what did they call it, his mojo, was when somebody threatened something about your girl, Trinity. Other than that, he was just Okay, so I had to remember he'd been drugged up for 60 years. So imagine a crackhead for 60 years. Ain't gonna have much sense in him. Okay, so you gotta remember that. And he was manipulated, and he went from mind to body. Unlike Trinity, who stayed married with kids, 60 years of her, she wasn't being drugged continuously and manipulated and moved from body to body. She didn't go through all that. So I had to remember that Neo was towed down, honey. Okay, he was towed down. Okay, I'm a crackhead, I'm a fiend, my nerves bad. You want me to just super fly and do all this stuff? I can't do it. Okay, I can't. I had to remember that. Anyway, so to me, the analyst turned him into a walking psychosis. Okay, just plain and simple. That baby was toe up. But see, so that's my thought on that, because I had a whole lot of things I didn't like about the Neo now, but then I had to remember what he went through. And sometimes you got to remember what people go through to say, okay, wow, now I know. Okay, so let's talk about Trinity, number 5. Okay, so my first thought was, did anybody else think that? Or do my mind always go dirty? I don't know. But I was like, did she have sex to have them children? Are they made up children? Are they real children that were children that they made in them little pods and then took them out and make them think they his or her mother? Or did they have relations? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what happened. Okay. But that's another thought in itself. Okay. And then I thought it was strange. Every time she was getting close to Neo and the cafe, or any time she, they got together, something happened to the child. Oh, something happened. And it was always a girl that it happened to, but we never saw the girl. Y'all notice that? It was always the husband and the two sons, but whatever happened was happening to the female of her children. But we never saw that child. Was it just me? Did nobody? Was I the drama? Nobody else noticed that? Maybe it was just me, because I'm crazy. So, anyway. Let's see. What else about Trinity? Other than them kids weren't her death. And the husband, she clearly couldn't stand. She became more powerful than Neo. So, it's like, you saw her snap her fingers and did what she needed to do to the analyst, like did a little abusing of his body or whatever, and then snap him back. Okay, Neo couldn't do that. Neo never could do that. And she the one who could fly, and he couldn't. But then he was cracked out, so he couldn't. So she's more powerful. She was more powerful to me than him. Because I don't know if Neo can do that. We ain't see him snap his fingers and do nothing. He flew at the end. We saw that. But why was she more powerful? And then I could understand it. Because, we when we upgrade, baby. When women upgrade, it's upgraded. Give me some pink hearts down below if you believe it. When we upgrade, we upgrade. Okay. Number 6, let's talk about the action. Okay, so how do I feel about the action? Well, Mr. Smith came to play no games. Every time him and Neo fought, the first time they fought when they were in that building and he fell down and they fell down into the bottom of the building or through a floor, the wall. They were going through so many walls. I don't see how nobody didn't pass out. They went through so many walls. I thought, okay, do anybody got a headache? What's happening right now? That he was playing no games. He came to destroy. And he had no problems. Because at first, he was turned Neo up. Then he said one word about Trinity. And all of a sudden, I got superpowers. And that was getting on my nerves. I know you love her, boo. But dang, you look like needy. So Mr. Smith, every fight scene, wonderful. So I told you he's already, Mr. Smith. You know what? And Bugs came out not to play. To me, Bugs was the like almost like the star of the movie. It's like they introducing her for her to be more than, if that makes sense. She's gonna, it's something gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna be a streaming, one of the HBO Max or something or wherever, or something where she gonna be introduced at a TV show of the Matrix, some streaming thing of the Matrix. I don't know. But I guarantee you, and I'm like I say, I'm not a critic. I'm never, to me, gonna say how a movie gonna turn out, what's gonna happen next. I just go by my observation that I think something is gonna happen with her in a part of the Matrix, because to me, it really revolved not only around Neo and Trinity, but a lot around her. And tell me what you think. So she was playing no games with the fighting. And of course, Neo came when he wanted to do the push thing. He was doing his little push thing. That was it. He was doing his thing with that. The ages were boring. You know what I mean? I thought it would be like a super agent or something. You know what I'm saying? I know now they made it so that people had the actual matrix in them, like it was in their eyes. So they no longer turned into agents. They were like people, but with extra powers or whatever. So that was different and interesting. That, you know, that made for an interesting twist and turn for fighting and everything, that everybody that don't look the same as an agent. But I would think they would have had made us some type of little super agent or something, but they didn't. Let's talk about the Swarm. Okay. The lady laying in her bed, she's like, baby, where you going? I mean, we were chilling, you know, things, we relaxing, baby, we were cuddling, and you just jumped out the window. I was like, what? Did he just jump out the window? They had it so that these people were just jumping out the window, throwing their bodies on them, dying. Yes. The Swarm was no joke. That was like the top what the heck moment when those people would just jump and their bodies hitting the ground. I was trying to see it. So, you know, I went to the movies to see it, but I have HBO Max. So, you know, I came home to get a second twist on it, to really pay attention to details. And I was like, okay, look at their bodies actually hit. It was like, ugh. I said, oh, that's nasty. So that was good. The Swarm. I think that's what it is. You know, I told y'all, don't quote me as no critic sitting here doing perfect things. Now, I thought it was the Swarm, and I think that's what it was. Okay. Okay, the reason why I couldn't, that's why I'm glad I came and saw it on HBO Max, where I had time to pause and do stuff. I'm not going to be able to do that in all my movies now. So the next movie that I'm going to review is The Kingsman. I thought it was Morpheus. Did you see? I corrected myself in the description for my very first video. If you haven't seen it, I will link it. I only got 2. I got no choice but to link it. It's not Morpheus. I want that to come out so bad that I'm so sick of looking at it. I'm ready for it to come out. But anyway, The Kingsman. If you never watched The Kingsman, please go watch the other 2. I don't think you really necessarily have to watch it to see the third one. But I'm going to see The Kingsman. Matter of fact, I'm going to see it today. So I'm going to have to like really try to remember what's going on. So I'm going to bring me a little notepad in the movie theater. They be like, what that lady doing? What is she doing? And I sit close, so I already have the movie, the screen light. So I don't need to make no light to write. I can do that. So yeah. Anyway, it was so many fighting scenes that I didn't know where to look or who to look at, especially when they were fighting those little runaway henchmen he fought with, the Frenchmen. Well, you know, and they were dressed all weird. I was like, what do they got on? Are they dressed in the homeless attire? I don't know. But anyway, it was so much going on in that fight scene. So some of the fight scenes, it was just camera fast, so you can't really concentrate on one fighting thing. And that was kind of like a lot and all over the place. I don't know if anybody else thought that, but I did. So that's all about the action, at least the high points to me. Number 7, Nairobi. Okay, you was getting on my nerves. All right. First of all, her makeup was on point, because you know she's probably about 90 or close to 100, because she was like, I'm quite sure at least in her 30s. When she was in the second Matrix. She might have been in the third one too. I can't remember. It's been so long the way. But I think she was in the second and the third. But I know she was introduced in the second one. So her makeup was on point. So they made her look, you know, like she is about 100. And but she was getting on my nerves because she started acting like her old boyfriend, the general from the first Matrix. She second Matrix, first Matrix. Did they introduce him? Yeah, they introduced him in the first one. She started, let's hide. She won't free her minds no more. I don't, and I love the way the machines and her got together, the sentients and you know, and humans got together because they were fighting the machines because Neo freed them too. They like, why am I slaving? You know, I'm slaving working in these fields with, you know, pulling these batteries. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be no slave to labor for you no more. You know, I want to see what it's like to be with the humans. They care. You a machine. You don't care about me. You know. Always gonna be a revolt. Anyway, she was getting on my nerves because she was acting just like her old boyfriend. Just like him. Talking mess and everything. Just like him. But you know, she was good though. Okay, so number 9. Number 8. The Analyst. Let's talk about him. I loved him as the Analyst, the newer, fresher, you know, because that other old man looking a little creepy. So he was newer, fresher, he had a fresher look on things, you know, he had his own ideas. He went out in the ballpark and knocked it out the ballpark with rebuilding Neo and Trinity, which was gross. They rebuilt their brain and everything, and it took a minute to do it. So some of those 60 years was actually rebuilding them. And you see, he was saying that every time they got together and touched and everything, they blew everything up. Now we got star all over. So the yearning, the love, the need, the want, you know, that the feelings that we have powered them. Powered them. Now, you know, they still got the ones that steal the batteries, you know, backup batteries. Neo and Trinity was D batteries and everybody else was AA batteries. Or is it the 9-volt that's like really, you know, well, I don't know. They batteries. Anyway. So he explained that. I like the way he did it in a little like everybody, you know, in his he slowed everything down and he was the only one moving in top speed. You know what I'm saying? He's saying he controlled this. I control this. But the world-class manipulation he was doing to Neo was starting to make sense. You know, if somebody was continuously telling you and making it logical, that is true manipulation. You know, he had to keep giving the pills because Neo was strong. But the thing was, without Trinity, he would have stayed just that way. But still yearning, still looking, still something's missing. Do you feel that way sometimes? Because I know I do. It feels like something's missing, something I'm supposed to be doing. And that's when I started doing YouTube. Not to try to get money or fame or anything. It's an outlet. So I also have another channel called Age is How You Wear It, where I talk about my fashion, my things, my travel, things like that. And if you are inclined, is Age is How You Wear It across the board if you want to find me. Instagram, my other channel. Now, I do not have a all movie Instagram. I'm not going to make one at first. I thought about, make an Instagram one for your movies. You're doing reviews. No, because then I got to go look for stuff. And I'm not going to be fake. I told y'all I'm not doing all that. We just going to talk about it. Okay. So the Analyst, I knew he was going to start bringing humor into it sooner or later. If you notice, sooner or later he started being a little humorous, right? But Mrs. Smith wanted him bad. He was gonna tear him up. He tried to get to him real bad. So the scene at the end, before all the climactic fight scenes with the swarm and all that. But did you see how he he tried. He said, don't let them get together. Come on now. But why you have them in the same room, dummy? You knew that it could happen. Why you let them? At first I was like, see, I wouldn't have let them in the same room. They wouldn't have got in the same room at all. But anyway, I like the way he played the analyst. I thought it was good, fun, entertaining, and I liked him. Now, number 9, my overall concept. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now, I tuned out whenever they start talking about a whole bunch of the concepts of why it's a matrix, your choices, all that talking they were doing at the round table, and half the stuff that the analyst was saying. I get it, guys. I get it. Okay? Everything is freedom of choice. Our feelings do drive us. Desire, anger, need, want, all that does drive us. Drive us. It is a part of our energy. That's why when people say, I don't want to be a part of your negative energy, because it is energy. All of it is. And I want to be in the positive energy. Because that negative energy makes it dark. You ever walk into a place, someone's home, and it is dark. Not dark, turn on the lights so I can see the dread, the hopelessness, the dark. I can't be a part of that. So, yes, I get the overall concept of it boils down to that. And it does. All right. I'm right at my 30-minute mark, baby. By the time I edit it, I'll keep it at 30. Anyway, okay. Best scene, Mr. Smith fighting between Neil the first time and when the bodies was falling. Those were the best scenes to me of the movie. So, Bracelet. Final score, 7.5. The 5 is nostalgic because it is the Matrix in itself. 7 for the movie. So that is Danita's review, baby. Yes. So let's talk about the next one when I see you again. Bye, guys.